Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Prepper Princess. Link to my book is down below. Just take a second and listen. Do you hear anything? There's a reason for that. Nala, hush. That's Nala. All right. This is going to be an update on my dog bite. I'm not able to wear makeup right now for a couple of reasons. Number one, I'm still waiting for this to heal. And number two, it's going to be 107 degrees today, and there's no point in putting on makeup because it's just going to melt off. And the mascara and eyeliner that I put on gets into my eyes and then it stings. So I'm not going to wear it today. So it's a very rare thing that I'm doing today. So you'll have to excuse me. So I wanted to give you an update on that. Okay, so within our city limits, there is a limit of 3 dogs per household. I'm gonna do my best not to get too angry. The next door, this neighbor has 3 dogs, fine. This is Coco, Nova, and Oso. They're all a poodle, a Pomeranian, and like a shaggy mutt type, all little dogs. Over here, they're also all little dogs, Pomeranian-ish. I've counted 7 of them. Now, along this fence where the bad dogs are, I've got chicken wire. They dug under the chicken wire. And then, so I had to buy these things. I spent like $200 on them. They're about this, they're maybe 2 feet long, and they have these spikes that go down under the ground so that they can't dig far enough under to get under it, if that makes sense. So it stops them from digging. So I did as much of my fence as I could with $200 worth of product. And the dogs are not fixed, none of them. And there are people who should not own dogs, okay? This person, people on this side are the epitome of people who should not have dogs. I've lived here 3 years now. Those dogs have never been walked. And up until this dog attack happened, they just threw them in the backyard, rain or shine. They never went inside ever. It could be 15 degrees outside and rain or hail, or it could be 107 degrees outside and these dogs are outside barking non-stop. It was a gauntlet. Walking the sidewalk with my dogs, or not even my dogs, alone. Gauntlet. 7 dogs barking at you all at the same time. And even though they're small dogs, they are vicious dogs. They're aggressive. And what they've been doing is 2 of them learned how to climb over the fence to get out in the front. It's a chain link fence in the front and it's wood right here. And none of his dogs are fixed. My dogs are fixed. Rocky is neutered, Nala is spayed. None of his dogs are fixed. And I'm gonna tell you a horror story of something that happened about a year ago that if you are extremely sensitive, skip a minute on this video, okay? About a year ago, I was walking along the sidewalk alone, and all of his 7 aggressive dogs came out. One of the dogs came out and had a puppy in its butt, giving birth. And it was so aggressive, it was trying to get at me, and it was scraping this unborn, half-born puppy's head along the concrete, and it was just ar, 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 ar. And then later that night, I heard them over by the garbage bins crying. So I'm thinking that that dog died giving childbirth and they threw it away in the garbage. That's the type of people these are. I have been in contact with him since I got here, warning him time and time and time again not to let his dogs get in my yard, okay? Time and time again, at least 6 times. And I said, your dogs are aggressive. They're not fixed, and they're coming after Nala, my Nala, to, in a polite way, mate with her without her consent. Rocky is having none of that. So Rocky, when they try to do their thing with her, Rocky's will not have it, and he's like, no, get away from her. And then all of them come from under the fence and like go after Rocky. All of them, like 7 dogs, 7 little Pomeranian dogs going after Rocky. And this is now, I think, the 3rd time this has happened. Now, behind the shed is the only spot I didn't have those metal spikes, because there's concrete that goes so close to the fence that I didn't think I would need it. It's the base of the shed. And they got through. And they went after Nala again. And Rocky fought him off again. The problem was this time that Rocky got behind the fence. And by the way, there's a stack of wood on one side of the shed and a tree on the other side of the shed. So once you get in there, it's hard to get out. And I had metal pieces back there, like leftover roof stuff that's metal, the sheathing or whatever. The old gate that I had. And these are not in good condition. There's little spokes poking out and stuff like that. This time I go over there, and Rocky's fighting him off behind the shed, and they're biting at him. And by the way, they almost tried to get his eye, and he had like blood here and puncture wounds, and they got his ear. And I get back there, Rocky is upside down, stuck in this heap of metal. And one of the dogs is on top of Rocky going after his neck, and another of the dog has his head halfway under the fence biting at Rocky. I essentially kicked the dog in the head that was under the fence to get him to go away. And I go to pick up the dog that is on top of Rocky, basically to chuck him over the fence, and he bites me in the face, and that's what happened. Right after it happened, I was livid. I mean, I'm not proud of what I did, okay? I used foul language, but let's not. I was adrenaline, I was bleeding, I had blood dripping down my face. They got me in the legs. I go to my next door neighbor, and I'm like, by the way, my neighbor, the man is a 500-pound, he's either Samoan or he's huge. This guy's huge, tattoos everywhere, you know, scary looking dude. I'm going over there like I'm gonna do something. I was livid, and I had blood dripping from my face and all this stuff. I didn't even at that point know it was my blood. I thought it was like the dog's blood or Rocky's blood. And I'm screaming at him. Gotta remember, this is YouTube. If your dogs get through my fence again, I'm killing them. They're dead. I'm killing them. Your dogs, if they get through my fence, I'm shooting them in the head, and I've got a pitchfork. I'm gonna stab them through. I'm gonna kill your dogs. And I filed a police report, by the way. And people on YouTube are like, sue them. Okay, so here's the thing. I technically could, but if you have ever worked with a lawyer trying to sue someone, it takes years it can take years to happen. He can just disappear off the face of the earth, and it takes like $4,000 just to get a deposit on a lawyer. So I would have to put forward $4,000 just to try to sue a guy that probably doesn't even have any money. And also, his wife is on like dialysis and not doing well, and they actually moved here from Oklahoma for the medical care. So even though I'm livid and angry, I am trying to be a Christian and take pity and empathy and sympathy and direct it towards them. At one point, I even offered to walk his dogs because they were so miserable back there. And I don't blame the dogs, I blame the owners. But when the dogs are attacking me and attacking my dogs and becoming more and more aggressive with every interaction, something has to be done. Something has to change. And you guys know how much I love dogs. I would, if a dog makes a mistake, fine. You know, it happened one time, I'll give you grace, you're good. And if they made changes to make it not happen again, good. I'm okay with that. But nothing has changed. And so I finally filed a police report. Now it's on file that even if the dogs come through and I don't kill them, I can have them euthanized. So since that day, just listen. Do you hear any dogs barking? It is absolutely peaceful. He is either keeping the dogs inside 100% of the time, or he has given the dogs away. I don't know. I'm not going to ask him. I don't care, as long as it's peaceful and dogs are not breaking into my yard trying to mate with my dog without her consent, or trying to attack my Rocky. Okay. And I think that he finally took my threats seriously. Like, if they get through again, they're gonna die one way or the other. Either I'm gonna do it or I'm gonna file a police report and they're gonna be euthanized, either way. And that's how it is in the state of California. First bite, I can sue them for $68,000 and the dog might not get euthanized. Second time, they get euthanized no matter what. So if he knows, if they break into my yard again, they're dead. So that's the update on the dog bite. Sorry. I still have pretty deep scratches and puncture wounds on my leg. The one on my face is healing really well, but you can still see the bumps. You can still see there's bumps, possibly because and by the way, his dogs, the Pomeranians, so they grow hair and they need grooming. He's never had them groomed. They have poop hanging from their butts because they don't trim their hair or anything like that. And they're raggedy and like dreadlocks. Like, do you know how dogs get dreadlocks when they're not cared for? So these people should not have these dogs anyway. And if they're doing some sort of illegal breeding, I don't know. But it's now on file. So I have a case, a police report case in case it happens again. So that is the update on the dog bite. Rocky is healing okay. He didn't, thank God, he didn't get punctured by any of that metal behind the shed, but seeing him upside down being attacked by two dogs was traumatic for me, to say the least. Because he couldn't move. He was literally surrounded by metal. He could not get up, and they were going after his neck and his belly and stuff like that. It was, anyway, two Pomeranians after a boxer who is literally stuck upside down. Okay, so anyway, there's that. Second thing is that when I sold my rental property, I told you guys I took the proceeds of the sale, which was, I sold it for $145 after realtor and closing costs. I got $137, invested it. Last time that investment was at $209,000 last time I checked. I just checked last night and it is $272,585.71. So I am really close to having that investment double within the first year. So that's what that is. I have no plans of, I mean, I didn't plan on using any of the money from the sale of the house, but now the sale of my house that I bought for $67,000 5 years later is worth $272,000 because I bought it in 2020 and 2021. Not sure exactly, but it just proves my point that having it, whoever, you know, if you said this rental's not going to work out, you were absolutely right, but I did have to make that mistake and see for myself. It was not profitable at all, but taking that money and investing it where I did made it into a very, very profitable venture, and I'm happy that I did it. So the sale of that house is now valued at more than I paid for my house here in California. I paid $198 for this. I paid $67 for the other one, and now it's worth $272. This is how compounding interest and risk versus big risk, big reward, and investing. This is what happens when you invest. So I will always continue to have people try and invest their money because saving just depreciates the value of the dollar. All right, folks. I have got to go and water my sunchokes because one of them is looking a little droopy, but while we're up, let me show you what a sunchoke looks like. A sunchoke is a root vegetable that you eat it like a potato. It's a starchy vegetable, but they call them sunchokes because they grow sunflowers on them. It's about 9 feet tall. That's my sunchoke right by my apple tree, which has some apples. And right by my corn patch, which has some corn, and right by my zucchini, which has some zucchini growing. So, yeah, slowly but surely the backyard will get done, but I have to work on the front yard first. I have very big plans for my front yard. I finished the driveway. Next, I have someone coming to fix the sinking porch because that porch was built probably 50 or more years ago, and there's never been rain gutters on this house. So all that water was going straight to the front porch. and causing it to sink. So getting that fixed, and then I will be painting the foundation, and then I will be planting multicolored lantana on the side of the driveway, because I tried planting blueberries and I tried planting pineapple guava and it didn't work. Too dry. So lantana is a drought tolerant plant and it's super colorful. So I'm gonna do that probably in the fall. So I'll do before and afters of that. All right, folks, do what you can with what you've got. Prepper Princess out. Let me show you this. Let me see this ear. Let me see. See, dog's got him there. It's been a couple weeks, by the way, since this happened. And you can't see it on his face anymore, so that's healed up really good. So good boy. And Nala's okay. It's funny, I gave Nala a bath yesterday and a nice trim, and Rocky was looking at me like, hey mama, where's my bath? I want one too. So gave him a bath, and they were doing zoomies for like an hour. Silly doggies.